passion and pageantry of college football lives here. This is the Paul Finebaum Show, Hour 4 podcast.
This might be college football heaven.
And welcome back. Final hour, getting your reaction to all the decisions that have been made today. John is up next in Florida. Hello, John.
Paul, thanks for having me on your show as always. And really, I had a question for you. News broke today. I believe I read on Twitter, Brandon Faison's going to be the starting quarterback. But really, I wanted your question because I went to the spring game. I saw him in person. Now, I didn't meet him. It's not like I went up and shook his hand, but I got 30, 40 feet from him to the point to where when I was looking at him, I was like, wow, this guy looks like he could be a linebacker for our team. If you would have told me he plays defense, I would have believed you. So my question to you is, Paul, have you ever met Brandon Faison and actually seen him physically?
I have not yet, and I certainly expect to, but no. I mean, I'm impressed with his size, and I think this was a really good decision. The McIntyre is a very popular kid in that state, and I remember when he played high school ball in Nashville, but I don't think this was ever really going to be a close call. I think once Faison got there, he was going to be the next quarterback at Tennessee.
And I know you can't predict the future, but what does this mean for GMAC? Do you think he transfers, or what in your Finebaum crystal ball, what's the next step for George?
Yeah, I
McIntyre?
think some of that is going to depend on how Faison handles himself during the season. Adam Sparks, who covers the team, I'm sure you heard him, he's predicting 8-4 for Tennessee. So 8-4 might be okay for Missouri. It's not okay at Tennessee. And I think the reaction of this season, where the program is, if it falls below that, is going to show a lot. And as far as Mac is concerned, I think he just has to assess it. He was a big find for Tennessee at the time. But this is the problem with college football. You're always living with some concern about what is behind the calendar. I'm just glad that Tennessee has a young player at quarterback as opposed to yet another transfer.
Yeah, and I agree, Paul. So definitely expecting big things from Brandon Faison. Seeing him physically, he's got the physical tools. Maybe to compare him to Tim Tebow is a little bit of a stretch.
Wow,
but he's in that area. He is a really physically imposing looking guy. If you were to line up the players and say pick a starting quarterback, you wouldn't pick him because you would say this guy's playing on defense. That's how physically impressive this guy looks. So, Paul, thanks for having me on your show.
Thank you, John. Let's hope he doesn't have to play defense if his passes are intercepted. Swamp Dog is up next.
Good afternoon, Paul. Thank you for taking my call.
Good afternoon.
I just want to say this: if you have a rule in your conference, it's your rule, and you got to stand by your rule for what it is. And with this guy coming back, from the NFL, and he's going somewhere else. He's not going back to his own school. He's going to another school. Does that nullify the rule in the first place because they're doing that? I know you can't answer that right now. You got to wait on what Greg Sankey has to say about that. But to me, I don't understand why that would make any difference. If it's easy, everybody would do it. And apparently, all you got to do to nullify that rule is to go, try out for the NFL, and then you can come back and you can transfer 1 year. And nobody's going to do anything about it. So why have the rule in the first place if you can't, apply it to what it's meant to be? And the trickle-down effect of that is, what does this do to the high school kids trying to get a scholarship to go somewhere?
Well, Swamp Dog, the high school kids are not completely, because we've talked about a few that have had big days here, like Russell and Faison and a few others, but high school recruiting is no longer the number one goal of these programs. If they can go out and grab a player, whether it's from an NFL roster, a G League team in basketball, or another school, then they are you're better off doing that because you're not guaranteed. It's not like, I mean, the Arch Mannings are an endangered species where you go out, recruit, develop, and then watch that young person become an established player.
Well, you know what does that do to the high school kid, though? All right.
Well, the high school kid. Listen, so I'm talking. The high school kids have to be very selective and very careful. And I was talking. Thanks for the call, by the way. I was talking to a coach at a slightly lower tier. I think it was an F4 a couple of months ago. I had lunch with his staff, and they were now they knew that if they identified a player too quickly, they were going to lose him. One of the players that they were recruiting, they got a commitment from. The next thing you know, I think it was Missouri came in and stole him away. So they are very careful about what they tell people, what they say. Now, again, when they go into a high school, it's not going to be a secret, but they are a little more careful than some schools would be. And they also know that they try to sell a player on, okay, come here for a year or two. You're not going to make much money, but you could end up then going to a bigger school. It's crazy, but that's where we are right now. Let's check in with Augie up next.
Paul, you got to love old Swamp Dog. He still lives in the days where he thinks that Hee Haw, Gunsmoke, and Bonanza are on the three big networks on the weekday night. So
they're not.
When did he not realize that this is not the college football that it used to be? The rules are, we don't know what the rules are. But, Paul, I love the old coach from South Carolina. I especially loved his rundown of the roster. I thought he was going to next go into the woodwind and the percussion sections because he was given a pretty good description of what South Carolina has coming back. But as far as Kiffin goes, Paul, and as far as the bringing back players on the brink of making an NFL roster, the rules are yet to be defined. I mean, we don't know what the rules are until a judge decides what they are. I mean, a judge is now running college football. It's being run through litigation, is it not? I mean, that's what's happening. So what are people complaining about? They don't like it? Go out and get your own almost NFL football players. What's the problem? I don't understand what the problem is. I think Alabama set the stage for us in basketball, so we're just following along. So I really don't see the problem. And as far as your interview with Pat Smith goes, it was very enlightening because I thought this, but I didn't know other people were thinking it too. People are blaming Greg Sankey that he's an absentee landlord. And, oh, by the way, he conned the coaches into this 9-game SEC schedule, and he set everybody up for disaster. I mean, I was not sensing that. I guess I was asleep at the wheel. But is that not the perception that they're no longer thinking Greg Sankey is the guru at college football administration whisperer that we all thought he was? It looks like he's been conned or he's been duped.
Augie, of all these issues, you just nailed the one that is the most easy to digest and understand, because all this other stuff is complicated, and it may be this year, maybe next year, maybe a completely different issue. But every SEC fan watching and listening right now understands that if their school falls short next year, it falls just short of the playoffs. It could be because of the schedule, and they're not going to blame their AD. They're not going to blame their president who signed off on it. They're not going to blame their head coach. They're going to blame the most convenient person, and you nailed it and named him as well.
Thanks, Paul. Well, he is the culprit, in my opinion. But anyway, thanks, Paul. Appreciate it.
You bet. Quick break. Busy show. More of your calls right after this.
You're listening to the Paul Feinbaum Show podcast.
Good afternoon. This has been, and let us get right to I-Man. Good afternoon.
Hey, good afternoon, Paul. Thank you for taking my call.
Thank you.
Did you ever, in your wildest dreams, think because one guy made a move somewhere that it set the entire foundation of college football across the country to where all these fans sat up at night and just wringing their hands? They just can't wait to get to you to ask you questions. What are we going to do, Paul? What are we going to do? How are we going to get there? What, Paul? How much we're going to get paid? I mean, Paul, we always call you the chef. You take a little of this and you take a little bit of that and you make beef stew. I'm telling you, Paul, since this NIL and this transfer thing the last couple of years has gotten so popular, it's hard for you to make beef stew. You get a lot of vegetable callers. I mean, we down to damn kale and kale. That's it. I mean, I can't imagine some of these people so worried about, well, what about the high school kids? We cannot forget about the high school kids, Paul. The game is broken. It's broken. It ain't never coming back. We need 24 teams. Well, Paul, what do you think about it? And they really don't want to know what you think about it. When people ask you what you think about it, that's an open door for them to tell you what they think about it. And sometimes, you're afraid to ask or answer anything. You just kind of stand there and you do. You look like Jack Benny with your hand in your elbow, your elbow in your hand. It's like, damn, how do I get out of here? Somebody save me, please. I mean, did you ever think that one guy moving would create all these conversations, and some of these people stay up all damn night trying to think of, I got to have something intelligent to say. I got to have something intelligent to say. Just make a phone call. Don't ramble on. And I'm telling you, the world is not going to come to an end. It's not going to stop. Football will start in, and I hate this term, week 0. You will be okay. Calm the hell down, Francis. I mean, Jesus. I mean, to borrow a couple lines from the movie Stripes, somebody's just going to have to step up and be the big toe, in this outfit. And if it's got to be me, somebody's got to stand up and be the big toe of this outfit like Sergeant Hooker. And it's obvious that you got too many vegetable potato heads that just ain't going to make the cut. No pun intended. Mercy, mercy, mercy.
Thank
Paul,
you.
We need a first down so bad. Just a first down to calm the masses down. Just to calm them down. Did you ever think that it would get to this point?
The answer is obviously no.
No. And you know why? Because it's not at this point. It's in them Winderlickers' heads. War damn Eagle, Paul. Have a good day.
Thank you very, very much. How do you top that? You can't. So we'll check in with Elliot next in Ohio.
Paul Feinbaum, it's about time that it's not the Big Ten commissioner making all the mistakes, it's somebody else. But actually what I called to talk about is multiple media outlets are reporting that Ole Miss actually got so paranoid that they swept their locker room and their facilities with the FBI's help to find out if there were any bugs. And that's what we come down to. There's no rules. It's so bad that you have to sweep your locker room to make sure the last coach didn't leave anything in there to overhear your strategies for this year. But mark my words, Paul. I said this last year. I was right on certain games. Mark my words. Pete Golding, Trinidad Chambliss will beat Lane Kiffin embarrassingly. It'll be the talk of all the games of the year. And that's what's going to happen. And I think what it comes down to is Lane doesn't understand that he had everything he needed at Ole Miss. And the game has changed. And the big-name schools don't matter anymore. They do. They help, but it doesn't guarantee you a championship. And go Ole Miss.
Another riveting call. Dylan from Alabama is up next.
What's going on, my black hat brother?
What's up?
I see we got another, like you said, a riveting call by the loser up in the Big Ten. I guess they just turned on the international chess competition on their network. So he just had to call here. But anyway, man, hey, it's been a hell of a day. I got flipped off by a fat girl in Dollar General parking lot. I must have been one of Johnny B's girlfriends or something. You know, she had them big old sausage fingers and everything. But, Paul, can we just segue on over to the Alabama quarterback situation? Well, it's not a situation anymore. I think we got our guy, man. Done a lot of research on him and everything. Watched old Brooks Austin's video this week he put out on Keelan Russell, and man, his tape from high school and everything, when his high school team really didn't have that great of an offensive line from what I've seen, and just that kid's pocket presence. I think we're in good hands, and I feel really good about it. I feel a lot better than I did a week ago. Just seeing that film breakdown from Brooks Austin and everything. He's pretty good at what he does. But what have you seen anything like that, Paul?
I mean, I've seen quite a bit, Dylan, and I mean, I know there's a tendency for any fan, including Alabama's, to get a little crazy, but I put a lot of stock in what Pat Smith said a few minutes ago. I really believe the hype. Now it's just a matter of what he can do when it's live. And listen, I've seen a lot of great quarterbacks, as you have. There's a learning curve, and I think how quickly does he master that?
Yeah, I think he's going to do okay. A lot of people, they're saying, well, the only time he played is when we're up 70 and all the third stringers are in. Yeah, well, he ain't going to be throwing the third string wide receivers, future car salesman. He's actually going to be throwing to a Cedarian Morgan, Ryan Williams, some high profile wide receivers, and I feel like he's going to be pretty good and everything, but anyway, the dirtiest player in the game's out here, brother. Have a good one. Robert
in Iowa is up next.
Hey, Paul, what you been up to lately, man?
Oh, it's so great to hear from you, Ryan.
Rob. My name is Robert.
Robert, I knew that.
What up?
I knew that pretty well, and I called you by the wrong name, and that's on me. That's. But you know what? You would be a good Ryan even if your name wasn't Robert.
Yeah, Ryan is good. I like Ryan. Ryan is really good pal.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm over here at the park.
What are you doing today?
I'm hearing you on my phone. I'm hearing you on my phone. I'm over at the park, and I like to be in the park. My question is, what do you think about? I'm hoping Alabama going to win that quarterback situation with Russell and Mac. What do you think?
Yeah, listen, Robert. I think it was a really good decision to go with Keelan Russell this early on, and I know you're still a big Alabama fan, aren't you?
Yeah. Hey, Paul. I want to tell you, I emailed you. I don't know. I emailed you about the. I sent you a photo about the handsome doll. I would like for you to watch it.
Okay, yeah. Listen, Robert. I don't know where that email went, but I can assure you I didn't get it. Let me do this, okay? I want to make sure you get it to us correctly. So I'm going to put you back on hold if that's okay with you, Robert. So we can make sure to get that right. We're up against the break. We are coming back with more right after this.
listening to the Paul Feinbaum Show podcast.
We are back. What an afternoon this has been. It's not over yet. Don't go anywhere. AJ is up next.
The main event, baby, is here, Mr. Feinbaum. Happy start to the opening season. We got week zero coming, about like Dylan's calls, week and zero. But let me tell you this, Paul. Shout out to Sammy Coates for pulling it out, ending a 10-year losing streak up there at Columbia High School this weekend and getting W. Congratulations. That was good news. And War Down Eagle, Sammy. Hey, Paul, I can't help it, but I'll see the diagnosis now with these fans. I mean, and there's SEC fans in particular, Paul. I mean, it's ridiculous that they suffer from cranial colorectalitis. I'm going to just tell you right now, because they worried about going to a 9-game schedule. If y'all get your head out of that south end of that northbound horse over there, it's just another game. The horse has left the stable, baby. It's not coming back. One more game? I mean, what does that mean? You know what it means, Paul? All it means is this: you got to play one more SEC team. Now, quit y'all's crying about it. I mean, what you got to do? You got to play a cupcake like Alabama. You got to play a cupcake like Georgia, a cupcake like Tennessee, cupcake like Florida. I mean, it's just southeastern cupcakes, because I'm going to tell y'all something. Y'all going to get sick and tired of hearing about Auburn this year. You're going to get sick and tired of hearing about Auburn winning this year. So you might as well get over it. And I'm going to tell you this, too, Paul. Brad's so short. Brad from Macon County, he's over there. He's so short he uses a thimble for a shot glass. War Down Eagle.
I say this all the time. This show is not scripted. I know you don't believe me when I say that. Brad is up next.
Thanks, Mr. Paul. And who the hell is he calling a cupcake? Let me tell you something, AJ. I want you to stick both your hands in front of your face, and I want you to count every digit you got, because that's how many times in a row we done stuck it to you and your damn Tigers. Don't forget it. You just, I'll meet you over there for the game. We can go have a good time and watch Georgia get number 10. But, Paul, when Elliott calls in, and you would remember this. You remember last year when he called in, may have been earlier this year, when he called in and said Crown Royal was top chef.
Oh, yeah, I do remember that.
You remember that? I mean, we gave him hell for at least half the show after that. But that's how his football sense works. He has no idea what's good, what's out there, what's better, and it's going to be the same old Elliott every call. And like we said before, we got to do a cutoff with the tariff around the Mason-Dixon line, and anybody above it that comes on has got to pay, Paul, because that's some of the stupidest stuff that I've ever heard in my life, and we'll never get our life back. But, Paul, I'm glad Alabama came out and named the starting quarterback. Even though their offensive line's not even fixed, would you say that's a concern?
It's a major concern, and again, I take reports from camp with a grain of salt. And Brad, you're a pretty sophisticated guy, and if you're covering, it doesn't any school, you're being told what they want you to know, and I just tend not to put tremendous stock in that type of reporting.
Well, I just hope that I hope that the dude has a good offensive line, because if he don't, and a good running game, because if he don't, October 10th when we come over there, that'll be the first real game that he's going to have to play, and he better have some roller skates on when we get after him, because we play defense a little different over here at Georgia. But Paul, your advice, not advice, but your opinion on this: Lane Kiffin, most despised coach in the country or the SEC, or both?
Yeah. I think he's the most talked about, but even that has a shelf life. I mean, there were some things I thought he could have said today that would have been far more interesting. Instead, he gets into the you caught me with your wife mode, but you really didn't. But you really didn't see what you think you saw. I mean, I can't ever really bite down on what he's saying, because it comes off so smarmy and disingenuous, even when he's technically speaking the truth.
That's true, and I could see that. I mean, he's a master at that. But, Paul, changing the subject, the English has found a way to get out of scot-free, but we had one almost step on a copperhead snake and get bit this weekend. And during the hike, that was Kathy. And then our son had to have he was rushed in with gallbladder surgery, and we had to get up get up there to see him. So he's doing better now, but it was an emergency type situation. So we had a nice, fun weekend at the English residences, Paul. But I spoke to our common friend, and I talked to her about Chase's condition. And if I get anything back, like an image, and I'm going to send it over there and see what that person says. But thanks for taking my call, Paul, and enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you very, very much. Billy D is up next.
Paul, I wouldn't even know what a gallbladder thing would look like. I mean, I wouldn't even know what the symptoms would be like. I mean, that's...
by the way, you would know it's very painful. And not that I've ever had one, but my mother had gallbladder problems, and they are they're not to be taken lightly.
I'm sorry to hear that, man. I really am sorry to hear that for him. All right, Paul. So I'm walking out of one of my little favorite restaurants in Mobile. It's called Big Time Diner. Mm-hmm. You're down here, go. I mean, it's country cooking. It's
on my way.
Great. Look, I'll save you a table. But if you don't get there at 10:45, forget it.
I was in Fairhope about a week ago, so I almost got there.
Why did you call me?
Well, it was a very quick trip. I was only there for a couple hours. It was an event that I had to go to. But I forgot how beautiful it was, though.
Yeah, it's good. Look, dig it. And look, but we've been under showers, man. We had a lightning storm last night, Paul. Lasted about 45 minutes, and it was a light show. I mean, it was incredible. We have a stalled cold front, whatever, like Alabama, and at night, it gets cool, it pushes down,
sure.
And I don't have to tell you. All right, so I'm walking out of Big Time Diner, and I look down, and in the Lagniappe article, it's a picture of you, a full picture of Paul Feinbaum. To which I looked at my wife and went, "That's Paul," and she was like, "Well, what does it say?" And I said, "I'm about to find out." So I picked it up.
Yeah, so, Lenny, I mean, you tell me. I mean, I know it's a very popular publication. Rob Hulbert, the publisher, called me a few weeks ago, and he was a phenomenal interviewer and a great writer, and I have read it. I don't know if you've seen it, the whole thing yet, but it's quite a spread about some things I've been up to lately.
Yeah, and in the past as well. Which that was some of what I was talking to Randy about. I was like, Paul, in December of last year, you imagine the fact before December. Let's go there. You were considering a run for the state of Alabama, and look, and all cards being laid down. I think you had a running chance, but I think you picked the best path for you, dude. I mean, brother, come on.
Well, I mean, the article was about that, and Billy, for anybody who hasn't read it, I explained how it happened. I just didn't dream that up. Somebody approached me, and then it got very serious. But yeah, I am thrilled doing what I'm doing right now. I'm sickened by what I see in Washington, so I think it was a very good decision. Thanks for the call. I really appreciate it. Expired is up next.
You know what I'm sickened about, Paul? That Billy D has started to call back in. That makes me sick. Between him and Swamp Dog, I mean, that makes me sick. That is, I mean, and I guess he kind of replaced his phone because only half that call you couldn't understand him instead of the whole call. So good job, Billy D, going to the local flea market, swap meet, and get you one of them old Primeco bag phones. It is working better than your Nextel did. But anyways, Paul, I hear all these people calling in, and they're talking about, the freshman Alabama quarterback, and one guy called in and was talking about winning a national championship and possibly a Heisman Trophy. And this kid might be unbelievable, lights out, unbelievably great. But in football, we always said this, okay? For every freshman you have to start, it tends to be a loss, okay? It tends to be a loss, okay? So if you start 3 or 4 true freshmen, okay, or freshmen, you're going to win 8 games. And for the most part, Paul, pretty damn close to it. You're starting a freshman quarterback. Never say Heisman Trophy. Never, ever say that.
Well, I would agree with you in principle. I mean, freshman quarterbacks don't have a good. I mean, there are some. I think Tua came in and won a national championship. Bryce Young played pretty well. Well, maybe he didn't. I mean, I think sometimes we get confused on when they're freshmen, but we're talking about a lot of freshmen today.
Correct. But Paul, I think I don't have very good memory, but Tua came in at the end of the year, which to me almost makes him a sophomore. I mean, he didn't have to play 10 games.
Well, no, he was in his, let me think, he was in his, it was freshman season, but it was also either the 13th or the 14th, it may have been the 14th or it may have been the 14th game, though.
Correct.
Yeah.
Now, these Alabama callers have done one thing, Paul. They have gotten me real interested in seeing this quarterback.
But expired. Let me say one thing. Keelan is not a freshman anymore, isn't he? A sophomore? He played. Yeah, he played some last year. So your argument is going to be ruled out of order. Order in the court. We'll be right back.
Thank you for listening to the Best of the Paul Feinbaum Show podcast. Watch the Paul Feinbaum Show weekdays from 3 to 7 Eastern on the SEC Network. Plus, you can listen and watch on the ESPN app.